Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, the team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to a Thursday edition of the YSN Live. DJ Yoakley with you, live from the Man Cave. And right next to me, the co-pilot, the man, the myth, and the legend, the 8-time best-selling author, world traveler, Grammy, Emmy Award winning, Pulitzer Prize nominated, Anthony Ronald Hartwig. Happy Thursday, pal.
Happy Thursday, Deej, and 16 total playoff games involving YSN teams to talk about today, and I'm excited about it. And Derp is too.
Derp is, hey, no more moment of silence for our Instagram account. No more.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
I don't know what you did. How you did it.
And if we're being honest, neither do I. Like I hit the reset button on the password about 800 times. We were in trouble. We were in deep doo-doo, dude.
Derp's excited that he sees the LeBron James jersey.
You know what? I had another shirt on. It's jersey season, number one. It's always jersey season on this show. There's a closet literally right over there that I have about a zillion jerseys in. So I'd love to wear a jersey every different day. Like every day wear a different jersey. I think it'd be phenomenal. Also, it would give a reason that I have so many ridiculous jerseys. And
you want to do it starting next week? You want to do it?
Yeah, we could. I mean, I could do it now. I had the Charlie Conway jersey on yesterday. Got this jersey. I want to see how far I can go without duplicating.
I didn't get the memo, so we'll start on Monday.
Start on Monday.
Jersey
I want to see how many we can get. Oh, this is a dangerous game, fella. This is a dangerous game. But I saw the Cavaliers wearing this one last night, which is my all-time favorite jersey of any team. And my wife, my wife actually bought this for me years and years and years ago. And it comes out for special occasions. Not exactly a LeBron James fan anymore. However, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it, Cinderella. So, pretty stoked. Also, I'm going to throw this out there. Also have a little bit of a shoe thing going on. I've worn these shoes forever. They're dope. They are sick. The red, white, and blues. I think they're actually low. Jeez, Pete, I'm a mess. I think they're actually low basketball shoes, and they are super comfortable. So, bought them years ago. Wore them one time on one broadcast, and basically it boiled down to we're losing space here. So I got to make some tough decisions. Do I keep them or do I toss them? And they're staying.
They're staying.
We'll just get a bigger house if I need more shoes and more jerseys. I think that we're down to that.
Bigger house. Let's go.
We're down to that. Now we can have conversations with Derp too, because there was some interesting blotter at the top of the week.
Yeah, he said some interesting things that we couldn't put up on the show, but we wanted some extra information on. So we might be sending Derp a private message.
Yeah. Our main hype video is what is it?
It's postponed, I guess. I guess we're gonna see Gerard's hype video soon.
Okay.
But not yet.
I want to see. I love hype videos. Love them. But we have a lot of hype to get to, Anthony, today. 16 teams, you said.
16 games.
16 games. How many teams?
Let's see. Teams.
Here we go. Let's cut through it.
Boardman, Hoban, Fitch is 3. Canfield, Geneva is 5. Perry, 6. West Branch, 7. Salem, 8. South Range and Mooney is 9 and 10. Garfield is 11. We have Gerard, 12. Liberty Perry is 13, 14. United is 15. Crestview, 16. East Palestine is 17. McDonald, 18. Mohawk is 19. And then, oh, no, that's the edit. So 19. 19.
I was hoping for 20.
I know. Beaver got close last week to be 2 teams in PA, but unfortunately Mohawk is our last team in PA standing with football.
The Warriors. The Warriors. All right, well, you know what? We got to talk about this stuff because that's what we do for a living. But where do we start? Because I mean, there's a lot of intriguing games, Mr. Hartwig.
Do you want to just go to the top and start at D2?
Sure.
Because we have an all-YSN matchup in D2. Boardman traveling to Hoban.
I got to make sure I don't die from choking, number one. I swear to God, as soon as we go on, I take one drink of this, and I choke. It never fails. Not that I'm choking. It's not A-Bomb's fault, by the way. A-Bomb energy.
They put up some nuclear energy in your throat.
Zero sugar. Zero sugar. All nootropics. All energy, baby. Pow! Right to the kisser. No, I just need to learn how to be an adult and drink liquid, apparently. All right, let's start at D2 because we have no D1 teams in the YSN universe. What are we doing with Mr. Hartwig?
Boardman going to Hoban. This is going to be the 9-seed Boardman against the 1-seed Hoban. Everyone knows what Hoban's about, obviously, in football. They've been the team that a lot of eyes have been on, not just in the region, but in the state. A lot of people think they're a state championship contender, if not favorite. But if you think that Boardman can't beat a 1-seed, remember they closed out the regular season by beating Canfield, who at that point was number 1 in their region and stayed at number 1 in their region, even though they lost to Boardman. So Boardman knows how to play 1-seeds in these playoffs, albeit Division 3. They know how to go up against really good teams and compete. So don't think that Boardman's not going to go down there and put up a fight.
I believe the Swinehart statistic on Monday was the fact that Hoban had been defeated 3 times prior by a Boardman team.
Yeah. And
depending on which side of the fence you sit on, that can be a motivator on both sides. Mm-hmm. It can also be a situation where Hoban can say, hey, listen, we understand that and we're prepared. This is a different Hoban team. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, Ant, I mean, we talk about JFK a ton when it comes to second half of the season runs. Those Boardman Spartans, they
literally won their way into the playoffs because going into week 10, their chances to make the playoffs, we were sitting there like, well, they have to beat Canfield. I mean, good luck with that. And they proved all of us wrong. And they went and they beat Canfield to get themselves in the playoffs. And then once they got there, they went on the road and got an upset. So this Boardman team's feeling it right now.
And on top of all of that, the devastation that they had at the first third of the season, I mean, the game that I remember coming back to athletics.
Yeah.
And they had the game in hand. Who was that? Was Twinsburg.
Twinsburg in the first game of the season.
And then you thought to yourself, oh boy, this is this is not a good omen for the Spartans. And then sure enough, we're talking about in week 11, and nobody gave them a chance except us. And there they go. That game above any other gave me the biggest smile on my face coming home on Friday night. Just so pumped for Boardman, because what did we say? Boardman is getting right at the right time. They're getting healthy at the right time. And you look at that team, if they have everybody healthy, they are a dangerous squad.
Right.
I think they are a dangerous squad going into Hoban because nobody is giving them a shot. Now, Hoban has been, since this season started, contenders for the state championship. I still think they are. I think this Hoban-Boardman game could be one of the biggest tests for Hoban. This sounds crazy, of the year. Because I am a firm believer at this point, there is zero pressure on the maroon and white and all kinds of pressure on Hoban to deliver in this scenario. And it's not like it's a 5-hour drive. It's right down the road to Akron. I like this game. I like this game a lot. I can't tell you who I like. I mean, what's it? Pastor. Oh, I can get on this and get the spread because I'm sure they've got Hoban by a billion.
Well, the thing about this game, both these teams have been really heavy on defense all year. They've won with defense. You look at that Canfield game for Boardman. They won with defense. Hoban's won a lot of one-score games where they've let teams score 7 points, 9 points. I think they won one game. What was it? It was 12-9 because they were down 9-5, which was a really weird football score to see. So they've won with defense, and this is going to be probably a low-scoring game. I would be shocked if a team got above 28-30. I think this is going to be one of those games that might stay in the 20s.
I'm looking at this right now. Weekly game predictions. Drew Pasteur, by the way, has been incredible this year, no matter which way you slice it up. All right, what region is that? There it is. I found it. Okay, so it's got Hoban by 34 with 99% certainty over Boardman.
Well, that's all Boardman needs to know. Like, okay, give us a 1% shot. That's all we need, that 1%.
34 is a lot. And then the winner goes on, I believe, to the winner of Hudson and Lake. And Lake is the underdog by 9 points to Hudson.
Hudson is the only team this year that beat Fitch, by the way, just so a reminder there.
Which leads us right into, guess who? Austintown Fitch, who is a 15-point favorite over Green.
This Green team is hot. They won, I think, 5 in a row to get into the playoffs, including a good win over, I think, Hoover, and I think they beat Hudson in the Federal League. So this is a Green team, kind of like Boardman, that kind of won their way into the playoffs, so you can't really sleep on the Bulldogs. Anytime you play in the Federal League, you're going to be well battle tested. So I think Fitch has a very tough first round matchup, as well as much as we talk about Hoban having a tough time with Boardman. I think Fitch is going to have a little bit harder time than maybe the numbers would say. 15 points, that's 2 scores. You know, I think Fitch can do it with their defense, but I wouldn't be shocked if Green makes this one close down the stretch.
But let's face it, Anthony, I think we're both sitting there and looking at down the road, and everybody is Mr. Burnsing it from The Simpsons, looking at Walsh Jesuit versus Hoban. They've already got that circled the same way that a lot of people in Division 5 have Girard and Poland circled for that rematch. And I don't know in either case that we necessarily get there. And that's going to sound crazy. It's going to sound nuts, but the postseason is different. These teams have to be built differently to survive. I mean, starting Monday, it's 32 degrees is your high. So, that deflated a lot of people. I was watching Steve Veazey this morning on WFMJ today, and Jody White came on and said that going to get a little cold on Sunday night and into Monday. And I think just deflated. Although I am ready for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and not in that order.
Not
But-
Thanksgiving first, right?
Well, I'm ready for Christmas. Like, I'm ready for Christmas always, like now. But I do enjoy Thanksgiving as I get older.
And a text from Swinehart, which is always fun. It might be a
What did we do wrong?
nothing.
What did we do right? Also nothing.
No, it was unrelated to our show. He's let me know that a Google Doc for our interview contact for basketball coaches.
Atta baby. Atta baby. Atta baby Swanee.
Basketball previews coming soon.
We're on it. We're on it. You did a couple yesterday, didn't you?
We did do a couple with me and Ty, and I got Nick Blanche a little bit later on tonight, of course. Poland Girls going to be covered. Ty did a couple this morning, so
What a
we got them
legend.
cooking.
I can tell you stories about Nick Blanche that I'm sure you could too, just from a
Right.
standpoint of being a stand-up guy.
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget when he sat there in the room with Brian Banfield and I, and we're arguing, bickering over what's in it for each of us. And Nick just kind of, guys, you need each other. We need YSN. YSN need, YSN needs Poland. Like, what are we doing? And then boom, like that. I mean, he is a hostage negotiator.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Nicholas Blanche, hostage negotiator, not the Priceline negotiator. Hostage, like he's incredible. He's an
It
incredible.
helps that he's
human.
a big presence that no one would really want to mess with. Be like, whatever he says, you'd be like, okay. Don't
You'd
hurt
think
me.
that no one would want to mess with. You'd think that but there's idiots that we've employed that want to mess with him apparently.
I
and
know.
they don't last long. Because guess what? I don't want to mess with him. No, thank you. No, thank you. Nick Blanche says jump. I say, how high? Yes, sir. I'm on it. No, in all seriousness, he's one of the nicest human beings, and he's been one of the biggest advocates for us across the board. And I'm a little bit jelly, man. I'm a little bit jelly. You could do that interview tonight because he's a legend. Hopefully, I get one at some point just to say hi, just say hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
You're always welcome. Always welcome to pop in an interview with me.
I might. That might be something I do tonight. I haven't. We're gonna get back to the football. Calm down. Okay, everybody, chill out. We went an hour and 45 minutes last week. You can relax. We're gonna get there. But like, I don't know what to do with myself at night now. I don't. It's like, listen, I'm with the family. I do know what to do with myself, but it's kind of wild. Like, I feel like I'm not doing something I should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's anyone that watches our website knows that it's slowed down a little bit. We still are putting stuff up. It hasn't gone dark, but like when you're going for like 6 or 7 weeks, putting up 25, 30 pieces of content a day, and then all of a sudden you're like at 5, you get that itchy trigger finger a little bit where you're just looking for stuff to post, and you're like, I should be doing something right now. I should be posting something. I should be on social doing something. And it's weird to have this little gap where it happens between every season, but this little gap where it's like, what do I do with my hands almost?
The exhale though, like it's real.
It's good. It's nice to have, but it does feel weird because when you go hard for 7 weeks and all of a sudden you're like, like sports is kind of final. Like the end of the season has a finality to it where it's just like,
You keep
it's
saying
not a
7 weeks.
gradual-
Where are you getting 7 weeks from? Because we've been going
I
for
just
12 weeks.
I just pulling numbers out of my head. These are not real statistics.
I was like, wow.
But sports are just like, it just, here you go. Okay, we're done. And now it's like, wait till the next season and then get back on the train. So
I don't know how to explain it. Like it's not a vacation because we're still doing sports and we're still identifying, hey, this is what we need. And obviously we still have the show every day, but dude, I got to tell you, it's
a little bit of a, I think exhale is the perfect analogy. It's a little bit of a, okay, let's catch our breath because we're going to have to hold it for a while during basketball season because it's the longest season of any of the sports.
But basketball kind of writes itself, right? Here's your high scores, and it's way easier to get information because literally all we have to do is walk down and take a picture of the scorebook, and we're good.
Right.
Like we're ready to go. And even that some nights is a chore for some of our wonderful employees.
I've never once I've been covering basketball with YSN since the start because I came on during basketball season in 17. I've never once had a coach be like, "No, you can't take a picture of it." Now I've missed a coach when coach has been in the locker room and he's already left or whatever, but I've never seen a coach be like, "No, you cannot take a picture of this scorebook." So it shouldn't be. Hopefully, we never run into a coach that's like that, but I haven't yet.
Football is tough to do.
Football.
Football is very tough to do, and baseball's easy because
Baseball's
99% are on Game Changer. But maybe we can get some of these coaches to jump on Game Changer for hoops. That would be ideal because it is available. It is available. Game Changer for basketball, and it's pretty awesome. If I do say so myself.
I would love to be able to use Game Changer during the game like you do for baseball, softball.
You can.
I mean, like if our schools were using Game Changer, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like, if they were doing it, yes.
Like us use Game Changer to follow the live stats and stuff.
Now we're obviously partnered with Game Changer, so we have a little bit of input, but they've told us, hey, it's ready to go. Like you guys can use it, and it
right.
I believe there's a setting where you can talk into it, and it actually is pretty solid. So we'll see. But basketball season it's not just coming in; it's here. It's right at our doorstep, and we're still battling we got soccer and volleyball. Let's not leave them out.
Soccer and volleyball still alive,
but football's still the beast in the corner.
Both soccer and volleyball in action on Saturday, and in fact, since we're on that topic, the PIAA just released the times and the locations for the Beaver boys soccer quarterfinal and the Beaver volleyball semifinal. Boys soccer will play on Sunday, 2 p.m. at Franklin High School against Fairview. Beaver has Mars, and they will play at 1 o'clock at North Allegheny High School. So those times and places have been set by the state of Pennsylvania. 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
The static is going from my phone.
Was it on me? Oh, yeah, it's the feedback from your phone.
Yeah, it goes right to that microphone. That microphone sucks it up like it's a magnet. All right, let's get back to football.
Back to D2. I think we just talked a little bit about Austintown Fitch. Do you have any thoughts about this Fitch game before we move on to
I
D3?
do. I think Fitch is a powerhouse this year. I really do. And I think probably as we're looking at Drew Pasteur and reiterating Fitch by 15 is the line. 84% confidence, it says to Green. I like Fitch by at least 2 scores. At least 2 scores. So, they've had a week off. I think it's either rust or rest, and they were rested. They're ready to go, and I think that Fitch is going to dominate Green in Greenwood Stadium on Friday. I think it's not even going to be – they're going to strike early, strike often. And I think TJ knows that this is a special team, and I don't think they're going to back down by any means to that Walsh Jesuit team. And it could very well be everybody's waiting for Hoban and Jesuit. I think it could be a Fitch, and it could be Fitch and Boardman again, and very, very well could be Fitch and Boardman in the regional finals, which would be awesome. It would be awesome, but I'm interested. I'm interested to see how Hoban takes care of business against Boardman. I'm interested to see what happens with Walsh and Nordonia, because Nordonia, who'd they beat last week? They beat one of our teams, didn't they? No, I think
Norton beat one of our teams.
I'm thinking about Norton. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I like Fitch. I like this Fitch team. They run first, and you know how I feel about teams that can run the football. It travels, and it also it shows up when the weather's awful cold and everybody wants to snuggle up. So I like Fitch in this one.
All right, so we go into Division 3 because those are the only 2 games that we have in Division 2, and we go to Canfield. They have coming off the bye, of course, as a 1 seed. They host Kenston, who is coming off of their win as the 8 seed. So it's 8 seed Kenston versus 1 seed Canfield.
All right, what region is that?
That is Region 9, D3 Region 9.
Bingo, got it. All right, yeah, so Canfield is a 22-point favorite over Kenston. Kenston coming in, I don't know if you said this, 7-4. You did say the 8 seed, so it's 1 versus 8. Canfield is coming off that tough loss to Boardman, so they've had a lot of time to think about that loss, Anthony. 2 weeks coming into this game. In the Cardinals' nest, Bob Dove Field, I really like Canfield in this one. I think that it's going to be, I'd like to say interesting, but interesting from the standpoint of how many points are the Cards going to be able to put up against Kenston. I don't know that Kenston's a real defensive, steel curtain, so to speak. So we'll see. We'll see what they bring to the table. Will weather play? I mean, there's weather in the forecast potentially. Will weather play anything in this? If it does, guess what? Enzo Coca can still sling the ball, but he's also a dual threat quarterback, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the entire region. And I think Kenston's going to find that out on Friday night.
Kenston obviously can't be overlooked, as Derpy says. I mean, I feel like Kenston's one of those teams that we always find in the postseason against a lot of our teams in other sports as well. So they have a strong athletics room and probably a lot of athletes in that school in those hallways. So wouldn't be surprised if Kenston obviously puts up a fight. Canfield, and I want to put some rumors that I heard. I don't think Canfield sold that Boardman game to help Boardman get into the playoffs. I highly doubt that happened.
Wait, that was a rumor?
There were some people on socials. I saw them. They were commenting on other outlet stories about the Boardman Canfield game that Canfield took a dive to help Boardman get into the playoffs. Highly doubt it. That did not happen. I will actually guarantee that, because Canfield was still sitting with trying to get a 1 spot. They still got it, but it was not clear cut if they lost, if they get that 1 seed or not. So I can say with confidence that Canfield did not tank to help Boardman get into the playoffs.
That you're being real right now. That was a real thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw some people comment that on, like I said, another outlet story about the Boardman win, I think last week, when they won the playoff game. It might have been on our graphic actually on Facebook. I can't remember.
No way.
But someone said I remember very vividly, Canfield tanked to help their buddies Boardman get into the playoffs.
Buddies.
Yeah, that's what they said. They're buddies in Boardman.
I can tell you firsthand, they are not buddies. There's a lot of history there. You start with Joe Ignazio, the coach of Canfield, and I would imagine that more than anybody, he wants to win that game. You know what I mean? Just not just outright, but by 30 points. Boy, oh boy. I can't believe that somebody actually would have said that. Oh, they're buddies.
People say the weirdest things,
Listen, as someone who I befriend,
I think it was because they were so surprised that they lost. Well, Canfield must have. They must have tanked.
That's a hot take, buddy. It
helped Boardman get the playoffs, but it also helped Mooney stay in the 1 seed too. So, really, like Derp just said, really helped Mooney out that Boardman got that win. It probably secured the 1 seed for him.
Yeah, because Gerard would have been number 1.
Yeah, they needed that bonus point wins from people they beat earlier in the season. I just wanted to put that one to bed. If anyone's out there thinking they can't field
conspiracy, hey, get the tin hats out, baby. Get those tin hats. Hey, there's a lot of different angles that we take as journalists. That was never one of them. That was never going to be one of the ones that we openly even thought about, let alone talk about. Wow. Hey, well done, Ant. Way to get the graph, or way to get the ratings up.
The mailbag right there. There's your mailbag.
Yeah. Great.
But yeah, region. D3 region 9. We also have Geneva, the 10 seed, traveling to CVCA. This is one of the games that we unfortunately will not be broadcasting because CVCA just doesn't have room for us in their press box down there in Cuyahoga Valley.
Well, they have a streaming service, as I understand it, that you'll be able to see it somehow. I don't know what it is. CVCA is picked by 19 with 89% certainty over Geneva. So,
I'm not buying it. I think Geneva is vastly underseeded. I mean, I know it says computers, and computers are less likely to get things wrong than humans, but I think Geneva proved last week when they went to the 7th seed and they just knocked the clocks off. This is a team that you really can't mess with. Now, I know Sam Torres told us that there's some stuff going down in Geneva's program right now. Maybe some unfortunate news coming out, maybe some injuries or something. But That being said, this run game, Brandon Pete in the backfield, he's almost unstoppable. I don't think Geneva is going to be this pushover as a 10 seed.
No, not even close. We're here in those same. Well, I guess we're in the same circle. So we're hearing some of the unfortunate news coming out of Geneva, and it's heartbreaking. It's disheartening. It's frustrating, certainly. But I don't think that's going to deter them from giving CVCA a game. And especially as good as the Geneva team has been all year long, the Eagles have been able to be and win very close games and games. I think Havrilla was saying that, one of the teams was in close games and was winning or was just coming up short. Well, the Eagles have been winning some of those very tough, very close games. And they've also dominated some teams that were supposed to be close games. So I'm really interested to see what this Geneva team looks like this week in week 12, based on what we've been hearing. But I think 19 points is a little bit of a stretch.
So let's put this one to bed too. Mooney did not get any points from their canceled game in week 10. That was not one of the games that the OHSA gave the win to. So that is still a canceled game for Mooney. That was not the Ursuline situation did not factor into canceled games that OHSA gave points to. So I know Dirt might be a little bit frustrated that maybe Mooney got some points for that, but they did not actually. That still went down as a no contest. Just so information is out there.
Derp is fair enough, he says.
Fair enough.
Was Derp the one saying Boardman?
Maybe it was Derp stirring the pot.
Derp's just tin hatting it today. This is crazy. Come on, Derp.
Derp must have missed that show where we talked about that and what we thought of those canceled games not being counted towards. Because technically, people canceled on Ursuline. So technically, Ursuline should have got those wins.
Which is why I was heated in the first place. I was ticked. I'm still mad about it. I don't understand this. Like OHSA picking and we're not getting into this. All right, continue.
We'll go into D4. Region 13, we have Perry, who is the 1 seed. The third straight division where we have the 1 seed under the YSN umbrella. They have the 8 seed Notre Dame Cathedral Latin coming into town, taking on the Pirates.
NDCL is 8-3 on the year. Perry is 8-2 on the year, and Perry, the Buccos, are picked by 11 with 77% certainty around this one. And Perry's been doing this all year with kind of a next man up mentality. Right. And you and I have talked about this before, losing key pieces of what they thought would be a successful year and still going out and winning 8 games. That's pretty special.
And when you lose a D1 quarterback in Walter Moses and you graduate that, a lot of question marks are going to be like, who's in the backfield now? And Perry's answered every question mark, and they've earned their 1 seat. So impressed with the Pirates, their football program kind of proving that they weren't a one-trick pony or a one-class ride, and they have players in the shadows. I think Walter Moses has a younger brother that's doing a lot of good things as well. So can't forget that family's still there in Perry. Perry's not dead. Don't worry about that.
Can't kill the Pirates.
Can't kill Pirates, man.
No, man. They just come back as ghosts.
They're
right?
cursed. They're cursed to the Black Pearl, right?
Yeah, we learned that. That's a real movie. That was actually a documentary. I'm pretty sure.
It's live footage of the Perry Pirates under the water there.
Yeah, I mean that's
a cool shot.
Well
man.
done.
You talk about CG back in the early 2000s. I know a lot of it's janky, but that shot where the Pirates are walking underwater to the boats, that is one of the coolest CG shots you'll ever find. And it holds up. It holds
All
up.
right, artsy fartsy.
Sorry.
Calm down.
Nerd Anthony came out for a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. Let's tuck that.
Let's get back to football.
Let's tuck that. Put that.
Let's get back to football. Let's go back to football.
We got plenty of time to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean on any other podcast.
Norton,
right.
who we brought up earlier, the 5 seed, going to West Branch, the 4 seed, 5 versus 4. Numbers wise, it should be a pretty competitive game. What does Pasteur say about this West Branch?
Pasteur says West Branch by 6.
West Branch by 6. They've played a lot of close games this year as well.
I
They haven't been blowing people out this year, but West Branch still getting wins, so you can't knock them.
But the Warriors are different in the playoffs, man. That's the thing that people don't realize is Timmy Cooper always hits that clutch and drives that into a different gear in week 11 plus. 65% certainty from Drew. So you look at that and you go, he's not super. I mean, that's the lowest one I've seen so far. There's a 60%er in a different region. I'm going to go with West Branch in the points if I were picking. Just because six is always a weird number. That means you got to miss an extra somewhere, usually. I'll take that.
Yeah, 6 is one of those ones where it's like 2.5. So you have to win by a field goal. I'm trying to remember if Norton was the team that scored 60 last week, 63. I think they scored 63 on Edgewood, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a team that knows how to score, obviously, against West Branch defense that has been holding teams very low this year. So it'll be interesting. Strength on strength. Big offense, big defense. Who's going to win the day?
The fighting antiviruses against the West Branch Warriors.
The Norton VPN.
They're still trying to hit us up for money all the time. All right.
We go to the final game in D4 Region 13. It is the 10-seed Salem, who got the upset last week. They will travel to Glenville. Ted Ginn's part of the world. Ted Ginn's part of the world. I was mixing up my G's. Ted Ginn Jr.'s part of the world. In Cleveland Glenville, who's obviously a powerhouse juggernaut in football.
99% certainty in this one, Ant. I mean, Drew's feeling he's in his bag. 7-3 Glenville, 7-4 Salem, and they're picking Glenville by 33 points. 33 points over the Fighting Quakers, who, like you said, we're not supposed to be here. Glenville has been defeated not once, not twice, but 3 times, and everybody's going to talk about, well, Glenville. Listen, I'm not saying they lose this game. I'm not saying the Quakers lose this game. What I'm telling you is 33 is a slap in the face. Again, it's another scenario like Boardman where Salem has everything going their way.
Right.
Everything. They have – you don't have to impress anybody. You go out there and you muck duck this, right? You just make this an absolute just make it ugly. It doesn't just whatever you need to do to compete with these guys, do it. And Ron Johnson, the head coach of the Salem Quakers, this ain't his first rodeo. This is not his first rodeo. And he is I can imagine these Quakers are sitting there saying, okay, count us out.
The one thing Salem has going for them, I'm pretty sure everyone outside of Glenville is rooting for Salem because Glenville is one of those teams that isn't seen necessarily in great light outside of themselves in D4. A lot of people don't think they should be D4. So I think there's a lot of people probably in Division 4 that are watching this game going, anyone but Glenville. Not just because they're good.
I know one guy, Sam Torres, is not a Glenville fan.
He's probably the ring bearer, the flag bearer of the anti-Glenville club.
The ring bearer. Here you go.
Here you go. Here's your ring.
You just tie it to Sam.
Good sir. I bet Sam was a good ring bearer when he was 8 years old. We go into the probably the most fun region in YSN, right? Region 17, Division 5. This is one where YSN owns the top 4 seeds. South Range, the 8 seed, going to Cardinal Mooney, the 1 seed at Stambaugh Stadium. Rematch of Week 9, where Mooney won by 8, 38-30, in a pick 6 that kind of sealed that game. Although South Range, before that pick 6, got a stop in the ball back with a chance to go and win it 31-30 before. I think they had 2 possessions with it 31-30, if I'm not mistaken. The pick 6 was the one that kind of ended any hope they had, but that last possession would have been a desperation one anyway.
Yeah, sorry, I had to cough. I think, oh, geez, this cord has got to go.
This thing sucks.
This thing sucks. So one thing that people, and again, I don't know if they didn't watch the game or I don't know, Ant. This was an incredibly close game last time. You just hit the nail on the head. And I don't know if there's amnesia from 3 weeks ago that people just absolutely just don't want to remember or they can't remember. But we're sitting here and Drew Pasteur says it's an 18-point game. Find me those 18 points.
He's probably just looking at me like, hey, they're bringing players back. 18,
I don't think that goes into it, though.
Thinking that it's that easy of a math equation.
I don't he is a formula. And I don't know that he knows that Dom Letlow and Ike Lake and Ty Wilson and, the list, goes on and on. I don't think that he knows this. And I want to know what formula he gets that says, hey, a home game is worth 10 points. Not, and excuse me for a second, not in Stambaugh where, 3/4 of the stadium is going to be empty.
Right.
It's not, you're not in a situation where there's a home field advantage if you're Cardinal Mooney because that venue is so large for a high school football game. And, you look at South Range has been playing, and I'm not, listen, there's a lot of Mooney people. Oh, here he goes on it. No, just listen to me. South Range has been playing playoff football essentially for the last 6 weeks. Mooney's had 3 weeks off. And again, I don't know rest versus rust. And we talk about it every single year this time. This is the first time we've ever seen this. There was no Mooney versus Ursuline this year.
Right.
That's the one that they circle. That's the Ohio State-Michigan game in itself in that season. I don't think Mooney sees South Range as necessarily that replacement game. I think if Mooney's not careful, and I love Coach Frank Calipari, he is, I will tell you this, he's one of my new favorite coaches because every single person that I've talked to, and I can attest the same, and I testify that Frank Calipari he's a guy that at the end of the day, he's a guy that's going to resurrect this Mooney program. Right. And not just the Mooney program.
He might have already done it. I mean, you talk about what they've done this year. Last time Mooney was a 1 seed in the playoffs was probably a long, long time ago.
I agree with that to an extent. But, Anthony, Mooney is tradition, right? And tradition is not based off of 1 year. And I think what he's building is something sustainable for years to come. Now, what division they end up in, that I think is going to be in question because I think they fit very well in Division 5. Very well.
Right.
But obviously with some of the things that are happening around the area with schools closing and, all the stuff going on at Ursuline that nobody wants to sit there and touch, there's been a wait list to get in at Cardinal Mooney. Right. And that place has been, if you drive by it, you see a lot of people in there. So where do they end up when it's all said and done? Because the parochials are treated differently than the public schools when it comes to how many kids, and they can, the formula, I guess. And I don't even completely understand it to get into it that much, but others will. What I will tell you, and getting back to this game, is that this should be the best game on the docket. Because you've got a team in South Range that, as Dave Rock said, hey, people are calling him saying this is the rubber match. South Range has the one from a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Mooney has the one from earlier this year. Who's going to lay it all on the line when you've got a team in South Range that has continuously been getting better and experienced and confident going into a game, in a big game, Bright Lights, big city in Youngstown, Ohio, against a Cardinal Mooney team that probably has one eye here and the next eye on what's going on in Girard, what's going on in Poland, what's going on in Garfield. Don't overlook these Raiders. That's what I'm gonna say to Cardinal Mooney.
On Mooney's side, as much as South Range is looking at the Week 9 saying, man, we were a couple of plays away from winning that game, I think Mooney is looking at that game saying we're a couple plays away from making that a blowout.
It's true.
They had a big lead and they kind of let it slip away. Like they came out and started really hot, put South Range in a corner, and South Range made some plays, got right back into the game and made it 31-30. And if they didn't miss the extra point, it would have been tied. So Mooney's looking at that game going, we're a couple plays away from just walking out of that stadium like we just owned the joint instead of we limped out of that stadium with a win. So as much as South Range is watching that game going, look at this, if we just do this right, we win that game. Mooney's saying if we do this right, this is a blowout, not even close. And I think it's just going to be what team makes those adjustments more. Can Mooney make those adjustments to keep a lead if they get it? Can South Range get off to a better start? Because we saw Mooney and then Hubbard, both those games, not a great start, and then they rocketed in the second half to get a win against Hubbard and then make it close against Mooney. Can South Range start better like they did in the first round of the playoffs against Mooney and not get into that big hole they have to climb out of? Because I think climbing out of holes is a lot harder in the playoffs. There's a lot more pressure on you. You're a little bit more tight when you realize that this is it if you lose. So I think there's a little bit more on the line if you dig yourself a hole. So South Range has to make sure they don't do that again against Mooney. They have to keep it competitive all the way through. Doesn't mean they'll win, but if they can stay right there the whole game, then they can have a chance to make those plays they're talking about watching film. Hey, if we make these plays, we win the game. I don't think they'll have an opportunity to make a dramatic comeback again if they find themselves in another 21-point hole in the first half.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, literally, you took the words right out of my mouth for what I was kind of going to bring all of it home on. But I will tell you this. You're dead on. If South Range falls flat in that and they haven't been able to really get things up and going in the first half outside of the Berkshire game we saw last week.
And even in that game, you could argue the first possession they fumbled. I mean, I'm sure Coach Rock was mad about that start because he's saying, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, you're dude, you're dead on. Look at you today. Look at you. You're regular Tony Kornheiser over there. I'm with you from a standpoint of if South Range gets 2 scores down, Mooney's going to be dangerous because they're going to sit there and go, we're not giving up again. This isn't, let's put the cleats on the throat and let's finish this. But if this game is close down the stretch, boy, does that put the pressure on Mooney's sideline. Oh, man. And it, again, we're supposed to have weather. and then you get into 2 of the best backs in the area. I'll argue for it. Ike Lake is back, or so we hear. Jason Vorshak has certainly made himself a household name. Boy, would that be cool to see those names going up again. And South Range has a stable of backs. Tommy Valentine. Drew Starkey, and Hulk Hagen has been getting into it.
Run with his legs out of the backfield too. He scored a couple of touchdowns in that Berkshire game.
We saw a 78-yard touchdown last week against for Toy last week.
If you try to take away the halfbacks, then Toy will keep it on the read and torch you with his own legs.
And Vince Gentile is no slouch either. Can we get that out of the way too? He's a dog. And I think that it's going to come down to Vince's arm. I think it's no surprise. It's no. It's not sneaking up on anybody that the defensive backfield for South Range has been susceptible all year.
Oh, yeah.
They have been suspect. They picked it up the second half of the Hubbard game, but I don't think that's one that they're going to sit there and hang their hat on, winning by 1 point, because there were some mistakes made in that first half, and then you get an emotional-led defense coming out of the gate in the second half. I'm telling you what, it's going to be interesting. This one has all the makings. It's a recipe for success. I don't think you can go wrong watching this game tomorrow. I don't. I really think this is going to be a great game. Again, there's another media entity there, so we're fully aware that they'll probably be watching, on other venues or other streams. But I will tell you this, man. Our announcers tomorrow for this game, Matt Romeo and Vince Tatey, they know their stuff.
Yeah.
They know their stuff.
So the only thing I'd say to that is don't forget who's been there every step of the way, right?
Well, I'm not afraid of that.
Just hey, don't forget who's been there every game, not just one game when it gets big. There's someone that's been there through all 11 weeks of football.
Hey, here's all I'm gonna say is they're at one place, we're everywhere else, and at that place, because guess what? Let's just skip over the Garfield game for a moment. You got Poland playing Liberty, and guess what? We're there. Nobody else is.
Nobody.
And we've got some great announcers for that one as well. The Poland crew has that game, and Poland. This is the one, Anthony, that I'm a little bit perturbed about. There is zero respect being paid to Liberty. Zero. Zilch. Poland by 32 with 98% certainty.
I'm sorry.
32, Ant. I mean, with all due respect to the Poland defense, I think they're going to have a headache on their hands. And maybe a couple of them. Because you got Moody and Tutwiler. And listen, Poland's good. This is going, in my mind, right now at whatever time it is, because my watch, 12:50, I'm going to tell you that this is going to be a shootout. I think this is going to be an offensive shootout because Liberty's seeing this and they're saying 32, huh? Dom Pro logo is not new to these kinds of games. He understands what it's going to take to at least slow down Poland, right? And to give his guys a shot. He's no rookie. He's no greenhorn or whatever they call it. The old people call rookies. 32s, I don't see it happen. If it does, holy crap, look out. But I do not see that happening against Liberty.
Hold on. I wanted to pull up Liberty's schedule to see how much they've given up this year all season. Because I think the Garfield game is the most they've given up. And that's like the one-off. So they gave up nothing, 8 to JFK, 27 to Crestview, 14. So 35. They've given up one 35-point game to Garfield. Every other game, it's 28. Well, they gave up 20 to Southeast, but that was probably a lot of garbage time with the blowout. So their defense, when it matters most, does not give up points. This might actually, I mean, I know everyone's focused on the offenses of Poland and Liberty and how fast they can score. This might morph into one of those defensive games that gets into like maybe the mid-20s, maybe the high 20s, where who can make the explosive plays in the big times might come down to that, or who can make a special teams play. Who can have the non-offensive touchdown, the knots? Who can have the non-offensive touchdowns to turn the tide? I feel like that might be more of this type of game than maybe the gunslinger shootout that I think a lot of people are expecting. Like, I don't think it's going to be 42-38. I would be shocked if both teams get in the 30s because these defenses are overlooked. Who's
the advantage if it is raining and it is slippery? I mean, because these are all turf fields, I believe, except Garfield's not.
Mm-hmm.
So who has the advantage? And speed kills. And Poland's got it, and Liberty's got it. Who has the advantage if it's a rainy game, man?
I want to say Liberty only because Liberty will use the passing game a little bit more, and secondary in the rain is hard. Because secondary, you don't know where the receivers go, and you have to run full speed to keep up with them. So making those last minute adjustments to receivers that are going really fast in the rain can be very difficult. Now I know it's going to be on turf, so it won't be as difficult as it might be on a grass field. But I think the secondary of Poland will be pressed if it's raining hard.
This is a Zipolitas game. Whether it's Pano, whether it's David, we've seen David explode in games like this, in just dirty games, that everybody's got their eyes on Kamara or Jones. I think this is an X factor game, and you're going to need if Poland not only wants to win this game but win it convincingly and build confidence and beat Liberty, it's going to have to be a game where they're going to need equal representation across the board. You know what I mean? Because I think Liberty's sitting there and they're going to focus on one or two guys that they're not going to have beat them. And Poland's got to sit there and be like, all right, divvy this out. Tom Pavlansky, listen, he's a warlock when it comes to this stuff. He figures it out, and he figures it out before halftime how they're going to present and really anticipates the changes that the other team's going to make at halftime, and you're sitting there, plugging holes before that even starts and staying 2 plays ahead of the other team and understanding that, hey, these are the adjustments they're going to make. We have to make the adjustments before they do and keep them kind of on their toes a little bit. So, 2 great coaches, 2 great teams, and you can only watch it on YSN or go there. So, hey, thank you to the other venue. We appreciate you.
Sean makes a good point. Even in the games Liberty's lost, no one's been able to stop Tutwiler and Moody. They've been the unstoppable force.
They're going to get theirs, man. I'm telling you they're going to get theirs. But somebody else for Liberty is going to have to have a stat line that is a Poland killer. You know what I mean? Just absolute cold-blooded, stepping up and saying, okay, they're going to be looking for the 2-headed monster. Who's going to be that 3rd head? Who's going to step up and be like, well, they weren't looking for that. And if you're pulling that, if that ends up happening, you have to tip your cap because you cannot let Moody and Tutwiler loose.
Right.
They will. You won't win that game. If those 2 go off, Poland does not win. If they're able to contain those 2, which I have to believe and has to be the game plan. If they contain those 2 and somebody else has to step up for Liberty, Tom Pavlansky says, I'll take my chances. I would have to imagine I'll roll the dice with that. With as many weapons as he has, you got to feel good about that. If you take away, Liberty's big punch or punches, you got to feel good where your team's going to be.
And then I think one more thing Liberty has to focus on in their losses, they've had a couple of penalties that have really turned the tides of games, especially in that Crestview game. They had some disciplinary kind of things that were worrisome, pre-snap penalties. So they have to stay away from that, obviously. That's given. You can't help a good team with more penalty yards. So I think Liberty has to be a disciplined football team, make sure they're staying away from the extra yards given to Poland. But when they are very disciplined and they don't give up extra yards on the penalty side, they're very hard to contend with.
How about this game, according to Drew Pastor, in this region, is the biggest blowout? That surprises me because I respect Manchester a hell of a lot. They're 8-3. With all due respect to Manchester, unless something happened again that we don't know about, I don't see how Gerard doesn't blow them out of the water.
Right.
It's 26-point spread. And Gerard, that basically means that Manchester's going to have to put up, in my eyes, Manchester's going to have to put up 26 their own because I think Gerard goes for 50. I don't get it. I don't understand the formula. I wish we could have Drew Pastor on and talk about it and understand it a little better. Does it change from regular season to playoffs? Because if there's any 32, I think it's you flip it, and I think even Poland feels a little bit better at 26 rather than 32. I don't know. Listen. I've gone on record. I think Gerard is an unstoppable force. If
Sean coming through with some stats, Manchester's 1-3 with teams with a winning record. So
yeah,
it's not looking good.
I didn't have that stat, but I will tell you this: you look at who Manchester has played, and again, no disrespect at all, but you have Coventry, Sandy Valley, Firestone, Canton South, Kenston, Tuslaw, Fairless, Triway, Orville, and Canal Fulton Northwest. And you're win. Or you got 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 4-0. Their first loss is week 5. They get 2 wins after that, and then they go 2 losses to Triway, Orville, and then they beat Canal Fulton Northwest. I don't know, man. With all due respect again to Manchester, they didn't play the NE8. They didn't go through the NE8, and they sure as hell didn't run it up on some of those teams the way Gerard did. I think, Gerard, I think, can put up 60 against Manchester tomorrow night. And I don't think they, again, unless something happened that we have no idea about,
Right.
I don't think they break a sweat. There's just too many weapons in Gerard. They're right now they are the unstoppable force. And we have not seen the kryptonite for Gerard to this point. Obviously, they're sitting there 10-0.
Right.
There's been no kryptonite to this point for this Indian squad. And we've cut up their tape. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it could be. The only team that I think can stack up with Gerard at this moment in time is a team in Region 18. And a team that's 10-0. And their name is Liberty Center. And I think that's boy, I can't wait. I want that game so bad.
So you don't think that Poland can stack up with Gerard, even though they did stack up with Gerard?
At this point, no, dude. And I know they're going to cut this and they're going to make, roll it on replay. I don't. I think Gerard, they know they can win it now, right? And I know I'm going to sit here and be like, well, you just said about South Range. Boy, you're in Gerard again. Or no, you're in Gerard this time. Was it? Yeah, it was in Gerard last time. It's in Gerard again. So, number one, that place is going to be rocking if it's Poland Gerard. Rocking.
Yep.
Rocking. And Gerard, there's going to be a 0 on our ratings for that week. A big fat 0.
Because everyone's going to be there.
Everyone's at Arrowhead Stadium. There's no doubt. I wouldn't even put it past them that both sides of the bleachers are going to be red and black. Gerard shows up, man. And I'm not saying Poland doesn't. You got to get there first, number one, both of these teams. But I think, at least as it stands right now, if I'm prognosticating, I think Poland has a bigger fight on their hands in week 12 than Gerard does. And halfway through, you're going to have Gerard people letting them know what the score is of the Poland game. Mm-hmm. Little scoreboard watching on that sideline. But one team we haven't talked about yet, Anthony, Garfield, who is the number 4 team going in to play the number 5 team, St. Clairsville. We don't know a whole lot about St. Clairsville because they're not one of our teams, but we know enough to know that they've played our teams tough. 8-3 on the year. They're favored by 1 in this game against Garfield. Garfield is at home. Mm-hmm. And you and I both know that when you're in Garrettsville, there's a different way to play football. And they have brought it out of people.
They're one of the last standing grass fields in the YSN family. So you got to play on grass in maybe bad weather. It's
going to be mucky.
Yeah.
And no matter what. And I got to imagine that grass is going to be a little bit taller. Hey, boys, Coach Moses over. Hey, boys, we're going to let that grow a little bit. Let that grow a little bit today. Okay. Nope. Leave it. We're going to play a little G-Man football. Play a little G-Man football. So what do we need to know about St. Clairsville? Week number 1, loss to Norway. Week number 2, a win against Brownsville, a win against Beaver Local. We had that game, I want to say. Lindsley. Oh, my gosh, that Lindsley team's still around? A win against Lindsley. And that Lindsley team had 30-year-olds whenever Mooney played them a couple years ago. A win against East Liverpool when they blanked out the Potters. Wheeling Park, they lost to Bel Air. They beat Bloom Carroll. They lost to. Then they beat Indian Creek, and they beat Cambridge, which are some pretty impressive victories from that standpoint. And then Pymatuning Valley, obviously the win last week, that was impressive as well, 35-13 over the Lakers. I will say this, though, boy, oh boy, you're playing Garfield at Garrettsville. It is a different atmosphere. I mean, that is the love that the G-Men faithful have. They show up, and there's a lot of black and gold to go around in that stadium, and it's a little bit of a journey for St. Clairsville, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's a hike.
So, I mean, I'm taking the G-men. I mean, I'm a company guy. It's my company, so I'm going to take the G-men. I'm never gonna count them out. I think no matter who wins this week, that matchup, whether it's South Range, Mooney, Garfield, or St. Clairsville, is going to be a hell of a game.
Right.
Hell of a game. So.
And if numbers play out, Garfield versus Mooney, and then
if you go chalk.
Poland versus Gerard, if numbers play out, it's all YSN regional semifinal, which means we're guaranteed a regional champion no matter what.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I know where the other guys are going to be next week if that happens. So there's a little bit of, the devil is better than the devil you don't, right?
Exactly. Let's go in Division 6, Region 21. We have 2 games in this division region. Smithville on the road at United. That's a 4-seed United versus a 5-seed Smithville Smithies.
Okay, so quickly rolling through the schedule for the Smithies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins in a row before their first loss to Hillside. They beat Northwestern. They beat Rittman. They lose to Norwayne, and then they beat Chippewa. And then last week they beat Cuyahoga Heights by the score of 28-24.
Yeah, this is no knock to Smithville either. Like, those teams aren't necessarily juggernauts in football. I know Smithville is good in other sports. They have a really good schedule in some other sports. I think although Smithville might come into this game thinking United might be on the same boat where they haven't played the big juggernauts in the state of Ohio, I just don't think that Smithville has the firepower to come in and get the upset.
They beat Claymont, which is saying something, because isn't Claymont D5?
Claymont is D5. That's the team that Liberty just beat 25-7.
Okay. So maybe it wasn't as good as I thought it was. My apologies. Respect, Claymont. Trying to get you out there. I listen, when you're talking about DJ Ogilvy, and again, this game is a Smithies by 4. Smithville's chosen by 4 with 60% certainty. This is it's not the lowest in the region even. Obviously I like United in this being home. I think DJ Ogilvy does a great job of knowing the opponent. I think he does a great job of knowing who his team is and establishing ball control and time of possession is going to be key in this one. Because if Smithville doesn't have the football, I don't think United makes that many mistakes. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me. They don't turn the ball over a whole lot. But arguably, this is the first test United's had since East Palestine. You know what I mean? That was what, week 7? 6?
Right. Yep.
7? Yeah, so it'll be – I'm interested in another intriguing game. Derek Rhodes has the call on this one, so it's going to be exciting. But a 9-1 team rolling into that game against a 9-2 team, this one has all the makings for a slobber knocker.
I think this is one of those ones where you'll see how much the bye week is an impact, because pretty even on the field. So how much does the momentum give Smithville of already winning a playoff game compared to having a bye week for United? I think we're going to see the impact of the bye week in this game a whole lot. Also in Division 6, 2-seed Crestview, they will be hosting Garaway after Garaway got the win over Middle Ridge in week 11.
United, by the way, is still grass, right?
Yes.
So another little grass factor. For Crestview, this is an interesting one, man, because we saw what Garaway did to Ridge last week.
Yeah.
I'm not picking no, and I'm not picking against the Rebels because they're chosen by 1. It's 53% certainty. But man, they're going to have
7 seed. It's a tough 7 seed.
How do they get the 7 seed? Sugar Creek Garaway is a team that gave South Range fits in D5.
Yep.
And now they slip down to D6 and they're the 7 seed. Crestview is, I'm going to say this with all due respect, and there's going to be a lot of people that think that I'm a jerk for saying this. Crestview is going to have to play as near of a perfect game as they've played all season.
Right.
Because this is not an MVAC caliber opponent. With all due respect to the MVAC, Garaway would run Ruckshaw through the MVAC, and we saw that, right? Garaway's tough. Crestview's going to have to do what Crestview. They're not going to be able to do like they did to Liberty and let a quarter or two slip away.
Right.
They're going to have to dominate and outscore Garaway every single quarter to win this game.
And we've seen Crestview even outside of that Liberty game. They've been second half teams sometimes. I mean, the Garfield game was close to halftime. Crestview came out and blew the doors off in the first half. Maybe this is not the team you want to be a second half team against. This is a team that you have to play all 4 quarters.
This is not a matchup that Crestview would have picked out.
Right. No.
I don't believe that. And they're not running. They're not running away from anybody. That's not what they do. But I don't think if you're putting your hand in the jar and pulling out lottery tickets or lottery balls, you look at Garaway and you go, oh, thank God. Like and again, we have no connection to Garaway other than the fact that we've seen them play and we know the style and the brand of football that they play. They're going to show up, and so is the crowd, and it's going to be intriguing. So Crestview, get out there, show up, get as many people as tailgate before the game. Hopefully I'm not getting in trouble here. Show up.
No, we're not tailgate.
We don't want tailgate. No tailgates. No. I mean, it's one of those things like you have to make it an experience. You have to get people excited about this game because they're sitting there saying, nobody comes to the games because of YSN. Well, go to the game. This is a bigger game. This is a game that is going to come down to the fourth quarter. If you're Crestview, you've got to support your student athletes. You have to get to these games, and you've got to support your student athletes in games like this because they're going to need you. You could be the 12th man. Right. The difference between going to week 13 and not. I mean, sometimes, trust me, I know there's a lot to do with who's slinging the football around. You got a pretty damn good one over there in Jake Noling. No doubt about it. Kids should be all Ohio, hands down, unanimous. But I will tell you this, Garaway doesn't give a crap about postseason honors. They care about the postseason and getting to week 13. That's what they care about. They want to play either Dalton or Columbia. Boy, oh boy. I'm telling you, Crestview, if you bleed black and gold, you need to get to the stadium. You need to get to the stadium this Friday, tomorrow night, and support those boys in black and gold. Because otherwise, Garaway could have their way.
Crestview students, you've been able to save money all year because you haven't had to pay for these home games. I know you have to pay now, but you should have the bank account now. You should have the plenty of money in the piggy bank to kind of crack it open and get out to this game. I want every student in Crestview from 9 to 12, from freshman to senior. If you're not playing football, you should be at the football game. There's nothing else going on.
Just to reiterate, we are advocating for people to go to the games. Advocating for people to go to the football game and cheer on Crestview. That is the end of the PSA.
But if you're out of town, we can't. We have it. So
read between the lines.
We go into Region 25, Division 7, East Palestine on the road against Mogadore, 6 versus 3.
All right. Firstly, Mogadore has a 2-tier press box. They don't have room for us in that press box. So we have to make a decision based on weather. And according to our friends who are professionals at the highest caliber at Storm Tracker 21 and Channel 21 WFMJ, our proud partners, they're saying it's going to rain.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain. I Chris Sigler and I have been kind of tossing and turning this because we really want this game. Really want this game. East Palestine is a 29-point underdog. And I got to be honest, I don't like the outlook for my Bulldogs right now, and for a multitude of reasons. But I think that this team, it is a successful season, and you're playing with house money from here on out, right? Mogador is a team that's 9-1. They've been there. They've done that. They have mauled their opponents. Their only loss being to, stand by, Dalton. Surprise, surprise. And that was a 28-19 loss.
So they competed with Dalton.
They beat Crestwood. They beat Canton Central Catholic. They've beaten Malvern. They've beaten Ellett. They've beaten Cleveland Central Catholic. They've beaten Pymatuning Valley. They've beaten Collingwood. St. Thomas Aquinas. Hey, we rest in peace, St. Thomas Aquinas. That was a tough year. And then they've beaten Richmond. Dude, Bulldogs have an uphill fight, and I think they all know that. I don't think we're telling anybody anything that they don't know. But I will say that if there's any team that can do it, it's the guy with number 1 in the backfield. You're going to need to make sure that you write the obituary for one Clark Rutledge in this East Palestine roster, because he's not going to let them die. He's not going to let them roll over. This dog don't roll over. This is a dog in the yard you don't want to face. But Mogador is a wild cat. They are they're good, man. They're good, and they look at this region and they got smiling like a butcher's dog.
But there's a team that we're going to talk about next in this region that I think might have something to say about it. Actually, 2 teams, whoever wins this matchup, could have something to say about it because it's all YSN.
Who are we talking about?
Maybe the most dangerous team in YSN when you come to the playoffs. We're in JFK going to McDonald. This is the 8 seed versus the 1, but we know it's not nearly as much disparity as that might sound. JFK, they're dangerous.
There might be pundits out there who talk about high school football, and I'm sure tomorrow there will be, that look at 6-5 and they go, okay, 10 and over, 6-5.
Sharpie it in.
Chalk. Remember a guy used to do that? Chalk. I don't think so, man. I don't think this is necessarily even like
what's
McDonald. McDonald is good. Listen, they've got just pit bulls all over the field. We're talking about dogs. They got pit bulls all over that field. Kyle Puckett. Hey, big dog of the Valley winner. Congrats,
let's go.
KP. Drew Zajac. We talked about Crumpack. They've got so many weapons, and I haven't mentioned a ton of them. But what JFK has done, 6 straight wins. Mm-hmm. They go 0-5 to start the year, rattle off 6 straight wins, and Coach Bente has these kids believing. Stephen Thomas, one of the best running backs in the entire division. Division. Not just the region, the division. Then you've got, just the athleticism that JFK possesses. And they've got kids that are committed. Not that McDonald doesn't, but boy, oh boy, you want to talk about dogs? JFK is a wounded animal, and they have been that way for 6 weeks, and they've been playing like they're a dog trying to get your bone. Whew. McDonald. Dude, McDonald has been playing these tight contests. And I'm not going to sit there and say, well, they barely got past Ridge or they barely got past Springfield, because they did. They won the battle. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you look at this win streak. I mean, it started with obviously St. Thomas Aquinas, which I believe is the only D7 team they've played all year. And they won that handily, 53-0. They beat Richmond Heights 50-7. They got in a close one with Canton Central Catholic, but they still won by two possessions. It wasn't close. 32-12 against Cleveland Central Catholic. Is that what CCCHS is?
yeah.
Lutheran East was the one they needed to win to get the playoffs. They won 19-7, and then they obviously put the hurt on St. Paul in the first round of the playoffs. So they've been not just winning games in 6 in a row, they've kind of been handling those 6 games in a row. None of those games were by less than 2 possessions. So
convincingly. And that Canton, I was there. That Canton Central Catholic game was not close. Like, not at all.
Garbage time touchdowns.
Yeah, it was. I think the second half, it was JFK blew it wide open. But it was, I mean, again, Stephen Thomas, 98-yard touchdown. I mean, it's just, you can't let off the brake. And McDonald, I really hope that there's a McDonald team that we saw early this season that was just relentless, because I want to see this be a very, very good game. Like, I really want to see this be McDonald at their best, JFK at their best, and hey, you know what? Tip the cap at the end of the game, because you gave it your all and the other team gave theirs, and you got to beat the other team at their best. That's what we love. It just feels like there's something wrong with McDonald. Not from a standpoint of, it's just like they should be winning these games by a lot more. And I'm no disrespect to Ridge or to Springfield or anybody, but it just feels like they've been dominant.
That Jackson Milton game.
Yes.
Which was a close game that probably shouldn't have been. They won. They ended up winning by 9. They took care of Waterloo, but then they had a tough game with Lowville, 21-14.
Yes.
Took care of Campbell, had a really tough game with Springfield, 7-6, and then barely got by Middle Ridge. So McDonald, something, because they were smacking teams before that Jackson Milton game. Jackson Milton came and got really competitive with them, and ever since then they've been keeping their head above water. So props for that. They haven't lost, but they haven't been blowing teams out either.
But see, this is also a chance for them to do that, Anthony. If you go in and you just slap JFK in the face, and you go to that next round against Monroeville or Malvern, try to say that 10 times fast. If you go into the next round and you just beat JFK by 3 scores, I'll eat every single one of these words. Every single one so I'm trying to keep it soft and sweet, right? Because you never know when you're going to be eating them. But I'm telling you,
they are low carb.
What we've seen over the last month with McDonald is completely different than what we saw over the first month and a half with McDonald. Something happened along the way that we may never find out about, but it just feels like this is a McDonald team that wasn't. I don't even know what. I can't put my finger on it. Like, what happened after that Jackson Milton game?
Right.
And I'm not doubting them. I still think there's the potential there because they're supposed to win by 5 against Kennedy. Kennedy's the harder team right now. Would you disagree?
No, I would not. They're the hotter team. They have more momentum. That doesn't mean everything. Sometimes momentum can be stopped in a hurry. But if you ask me, like, hey, what team is feeling a little bit better? Probably be JFK.
And I hope for Dan Williams, because I have a ton of respect for that guy. I appreciate Dan Williams from afar. I appreciate everything he's done for every single class that he's. But I mean, is this his last ride? I don't want to put that. I mean, I hate to even put that out there because I have no idea. But you hear rumors, you hear the smoke. Is this the last ride? And if it is that one of the motivators for McDonald to go out tomorrow? Like, we're not going out like this. We're taking this wagon as far as we can for coach. That's the question, because it's a changing climate here, as we talked about yesterday with conferences. There's a changing climate happening right now, and some coaches are going to have to make a decision whether they want to be a part of that or not.
That brings up a real good hypothetical that just popped in my. If you're a coach, you're a hypothetical coach at the end of your career, you may have made the decision you're going to retire. Do you tell your kids before a playoff game, or do you not want that distraction in their heads that this is your last year? Like you haven't announced it to the media, you haven't announced it to anybody. Do you tell your kids before you play a playoff game, hey, this is my last go round?
I think you have to take your emotions out of it. You know, a couple years ago when Dan Yeagley did it, I think he announced it in February.
Right.
I was sitting in a parking lot in Salem. Just got done with a basketball game when he announced it. You know, it was just after I think it depends on the situation. Right. And there's a lot of coaches, and I can say this with 100% certainty, that there's a lot of coaches around here that would not want to leave the cupboard bare for the next guy. Because usually the next guy's pretty – I mean, hey, let's pass the baton on so that there's the least amount of movement for our kids. Or if it's a tough rebuild, maybe that is passed on to, you know, we're going a different direction. But most of the successful programs, and I consider McDonald a very successful program, they're going to look there and they're going to say, okay, what's best? What's best for our kids? And there might be a situation. And again, hey, we're not breaking news here. We have no idea what the future of any of these coaches are, because a lot of them won't say anything until after the year. There's a couple that we've heard, hey, this is it. We have no idea. We're not trying to play the force them out game by any means. But that's a great question, Anthony. Like I think it boils down to the motivations of the coach, the
right.
players, the coaching staff. You know, we've seen the rah-rah, hey, you know, Jerome Bettis, you know, the last stops in Detroit kind of deal. And we've seen it the other way where, you know, I don't want to be a distraction for this team. It's not about me. It's about the team. And they go that route.
Yeah, it hit my mind because Friday Night Lights, their show in season 1, if you watch it, Eric Taylor's going to leave Dylan at the end of season 1, but it comes out with the media instead of him telling the team, and it causes all this friction because the team finds out from the reporters instead of finding out from him. So, like, you almost want to get ahead of it if you're a coach, maybe. I don't know. That would not be a situation.
Saying anybody's retiring or leaving.
We would never break that. We're not I mean, sometimes we break news, but like that kind of stuff, we try not to break news until it's already broken.
Anthony just set me up. How do you have all this time to watch these shows and still do what you do?
Friday Night Lights is one that I saw when it came out, so I've already seen that.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the shows I rewatch while I'm doing work because it's a very rewatchable show.
Shannon says, "Go Raiders."
Yes, this is the Raiders game. Back to South Range. It's a very friction, not like legitimate friction, but there's some trash talk going on in the Hartwig family because my dad is a very proud Mooney alum. He played football for Mooney. I obviously went to South Range, didn't play football for South Range.
Trash talking your dad,
but there's a little friendly competition going on right now. He's a very proud Mooney alum. He knows, he was coached by Coach Butchie. His freshman team went undefeated, unscored upon. So he's he wants to make sure Mooney wins this game, and I'm obviously a South Range alum. So
Did you ever want to play football?
Oh yeah, I remember. What
position?
Oh, I was in the secondary. I thought, man, because I was walking with sticks, and I was like, man, I could bat down balls because I have a extra 3-foot reach. I can knock down balls all day as a safety. I don't have to keep up with people. I can just take the angle.
You don't think they'd sweep the other stick out from under you?
I remember my fourth grade mind didn't think that way, but I wrote a letter to the Pee Wee coach I don't even remember who was the coach back then for like the fourth grade Little Raiders. I was like, I'm Anthony Hartwig. I know I have a disability, but I could do all this, and I know football really well, and I actually showed up at practice, and he had to have that. Probably the hardest day of his life, where he had to be like, son? I love you, but I can't put you on that football field.
That's when you should have got the chair like you have now and showed him like the wheelies.
Come on, George, I can do whatever. I will die on this field for you. And he's like,
He ain't getting past me, coach. That's one of those like ESPN Disney moments where he's like,
Right.
Hartwig, you're
Get
in.
there.
And then you just absolutely get truck sticked by some kid. No. It just runs you up. I'm sick. Oh gosh.
That Make-A-Wish video where it's obviously played off, but the kids run down the field and all of a sudden you see some linebacker come out of nowhere and truck him. Oh, he got Johnny. Johnny's down.
Just thinking about you getting truck sticked by some kid.
Hey, Rudy was offside, Sean. Get that out of the comments.
You better knock that off right now, Hartwig.
Rudy was offsides.
Yeah, and so are you, pal. You don't talk about Rudy like that. You put some damn respect on Rudy's name.
It was highly dramatized.
Okay, all right.
Joe Montana says, "Hey, you know what? They gassed up a lot of stuff."
Okay, thanks, Joe. Appreciate you. You're talking about a guy that was calling his wife on the sidelines from the field.
Yeah, Hollywood Joe.
He's a doofus. The more I watch videos of him, like in the more interviews, and now listen, I was a Joe Montana guy. Loved him growing up. He's the reason I wanted to be a quarterback. He's a doofus. He's just an absolute doofus. Like, people are like, Tom Brady or Joe Montana. Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not a doofus. That guy is. Like, why would you call your wife?
I don't know. Maybe he was in some hot water. He wanted to get out of the doghouse before he got home.
No, he's a doofus. At the end of it. All right, let's get to the spark here. Brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and just like YSN, you can get to Joe Dickey Electric via the web 24/7. And yes, 365 days a year. All you got to do is go to DickeyElectric.com. This is where we press the button. Hang on. This is the worst. This shit stinks. This is so bad.
Oh man! Hey, basketball season is 2 weeks away, and I said it before the top of the show. But if you're one of the new viewers that copped in a little bit, I should say popped in, not copped in.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, what's copped in?
That popped in a little bit late. Basketball previews are coming; they're coming fast. So in the next couple of days, next few weeks, you're going to see a lot of basketball previews from boys and girls basketball pop up. As like I said, it's 2 weeks away for girls, 3 weeks away for boys. So we're going to have as many coaches come on and talk about their seasons and their rosters and their schedules as possible. We'll get to locked and loaded before basketball starts. It feels like it's been a while, but it's really right around the corner.
I would say that Shawnee's ready for hoop season.
Let's go.
Sean went to Notre Dame, so the fact that you disrespected Rudy means you disrespected Sean. I don't like that. I like that.
I didn't know he went to Notre Dame. I thought he was just a Notre Dame fan. You actually are
Notre Dame grad.
alum? Notre Dame grad. Way to go, Sean. That's a hard school to go to.
Second only to Westminster.
We're proud of you, buddy.
Remember that. YSU's third on that list. He goes Westminster, Notre Dame, the Youngstown State University. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
No respect. I don't get any respect around here. What is my spark? Oh, I know what my spark is. Hey, real quick. We love doing this show. Love it. I mean, it stinks. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is a terrible, terrible use of an hour and a half of your time. But I will say we love doing it. The one thing that I ask, though, is that if you're going to take and gas up as we're trying to use some of these terminologies that the kids understand, if you're going to gas up the kids or sit there and be motivators, and you're a parent or what, like, please clip it with the complete context of like what we say. and not just try to make us feel like a couple of buttholes that are trying to trash talk kids. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to give some entertainment value. And oh, by the way, shine a light on D7, D6, D5, D4, D3 football, volleyball. I guess there's not D7 volleyball, but you get my drift. Is like, I get it. You want to make a point and you want to do, hey, go ahead, knock yourself out. It's a free country protected by all kinds of rights and freedoms that were fought for and blood was shed for. Go after it, but don't be a douchebag. Like, don't sit there and trash us and then be like, this is what they said. See, this is what they, like, again, the disclaimer, a lot of this is for entertainment value. A lot of this is for, to make people smile and to be excited. If you really think that we're out here to trash kids and put, lines on high school football games, you are out of your ever-loving mind. Like, we are not that important. We are not even close to that. So God bless you, but you look like an absolute doucher whenever you do that. So just so you're aware, your kids don't even think you're cool when you do that. Just FYI.
I like this. We have questions in the comments and then answers in the comments. So
we're okay.
Who's
Derp,
covering Gerard?
Derp, right?
Sean and Eric are covering that. They're covering Gerard. So he answers the one question. I like it.
I love it.
And then, and then Derp comes back and says, "Oh, okay." So he got the response. So
Derp, I don't like this James Bond BS that he's pulling on us right now. He's a double agent.
I'll tell you about it, Josh.
I'll tell you about the situation tomorrow. No, dude. We want to know. How are we supposed to get the point spreads right on this show if we don't know? Come on. I can't tell you.
He's being a real secret informant right now.
This has been a secret since Monday.
He's like, here's the thing, like Derp, like for future, if you can't tell us, don't even bring it up. Like,
don't do it, because now we gotta know.
The door open. You crack the door open a little bit, and we're like, well, let's get a peek, and then you're shutting the door. And it's like, no, wait a minute.
I don't. First off, I don't like that analogy with you peeking on people and shutting doors, Anthony. But number two,
just giving the douchebag something to clip.
Somebody else has this information. Derp's not the only one that has this. So, is he selling this information to like the guy, the blue coats? Is that what he's doing? He's like, hey, you got to hold out.
Yeah.
I think Derp's a warmonger. I can message you. You can message us now that we have Instagram. That's the one reason that we fought like hell to get Instagram back. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of people yelling at us most of the time. We're not going to announce it, Derp. We just listen. You know how we roll here. It's a situation where we can keep it down. And then one day, whenever someone comes along and buys the company, I will write it in my memoirs.
Sean's saying the same thing. Our announcers need to know. Our announcers need to, if they're walking into a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Okay. For all people wondering,
go.
Pearson is good. That is off the table. That is good.
All right.
So we've clarified that. That opens up the door for literally everything else, Derp. Everything else.
Wild.
Wow. You want to talk about the craziest Adam Schefter of all time? I'm going to tell you what it's not. We're going to start playing the guessing game. We hope everybody in Gerard is good. That's what our genuine hope is. We never want anybody to get hurt or punished or anything like that. We don't want anything like that. These are children at the end of the day. We're big fans of each and every one of them. And this is DJ being serious. I am huge fans of all of these heroes in their community. They're incredible. I think sports is better than they've ever been, not just in this area, but nationwide. And we are absolutely blessed, honored, and humbled to be able to do what we do every single day and talk about them and make fun of ourselves by doing that and putting them on a platform and a pedestal that they so much deserve. And again, Sunday was a perfect example of that at the YSN All-Star Volleyball game, raising over $2,000 for the Rich Center for Autism, people getting together, raising a lot of money for good people doing the right things, and we do it through the Ministry of Sports. So that being said, that's going to do it for our show. This wraps up a wild week of nonsense that we've had at the 12 o'clock hour. For Anthony Hartwig, my name is DJ Yoakley. We'll be better on Monday, but we hope you are better tomorrow as a lot of games going on around. Is there picks? No, Derp, there's no picks. Well, I mean, I guess kind of. You missed it, the whole show.
But don't forget about the Yak Cast tomorrow. Yeah, everybody.
Okay. I don't have the thing. I would put it up, but I don't have it. I think somebody took over Derp's account. It got hacked. Derpy he's in a whirlwind right now. I wonder if he's been
elbowed him off the keyboard.
He's been scouring. He's been scouring the internet. That's officially going to do it for us. This show sucks. This show sucks. That's it. Derp is chipping in to this show, absolutely reeking. Have a great weekend. We will see you on the network tomorrow. The Yakcast, myself, Mike Ackelson, special guest flying by. Anthony Hartwig and Mike Swinehart will be working in the background, making sure that it is probably a show that sucks just as bad as this one. But we're gonna do our best to try not to. But we hope that you enjoy the games tomorrow. $9.99 gets you all of them. We have, I think, 13 games right now. We're sitting on. So enjoy it. And then certainly if you have any questions, reach out to us on social. We have Instagram. We're good to go on Instagram again. Thank God. So we can talk to Derp. And then we will see you right here on this show for a certain overreaction Monday with Greg McAfee. Anthony, may the sports be with you, pal.
And you, my friend.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.